Nappy Head Millie, back like a bad habit. And today, I recorded this video 4 different ways, but I figured out the best way to do this is instead of telling you guys how to learn a new character, I'm gonna tell you guys the mistakes I made when originally learning characters in fighting games. So like, share, subscribe. This is gonna be from my perspective. So my 5 mistakes might not apply to you, but if you are a new fighting game person, this could prevent you from learning the way I learned, thus making you a better player than I am. You know what I'm saying? Getting a better start to what I did. Now, yeah, let's go ahead and start the video. Number 5, and that's gonna be jumping straight into online. When I first started playing fighting games, I jumped like immediately into online. I just chose a character, was like, I like the way this character looked, and I went straight online. That's a big no-no. That is a huge no-no. It might start off good when you just pressing buttons like this, like that, and it might look good when you first start off, but you'll come to realize that 2 days later, not even 2 days later, about 4 hours later, you gonna get your ass severely whooped. And then you gonna get mad, and then you gonna not want to be in the game. So how do we prevent this? You see what I'm in right now? You see this place? You see this magical place with the numbers and the red sign? Because apparently I'm negative. Now it's blue. Now I'm positive. This is called the lab. You want to go here at least 60% of the time. Take your time and pick a character that you like. Then you want to sit in the lab and you want to learn every little aspect about that character, from ranges of his normals to special moves. And you can start with the basis there. Everything else does come with matchup knowledge, but we can just start with the basis of at least spending 45 minutes learning normals and special moves. Okay, so let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is a little bit, this is personal, is going into the game feeling as though I'm better than everybody. Now,
don't act rash.
That is the worst thing you can do in a fighting game. You need to, when you are a fighting game player, you need to understand that your skill is based off of how much you play the game and how much you are willing to improve. That goes back to the lab. You need to be in the lab. Now, you could be the best on the block. I was one of those people that was the best on the block until I got my ass handed to me. You know, and it makes you mad because you think you're the best. You got to get rid of that ego. There's wanting to be the best, and there's thinking that you're the best with no work put in. So that's mistake number 4. Get rid of the ego. Get rid of the ego. Nobody wants to be a low tier guy with an ego and has the potential to be good, but is stuck because they're letting their potential go to waste because they think they're better than everybody, and they think that I don't want to call nobody out on my video, but that's just the prime example. You think you're better than everybody, yet everybody's proving you wrong constantly. And because you're so stuck in this circle that I'm the best, you don't see, you stunt your growth. So that's number 4. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is where it starts to get interesting because it's all gameplay related. And number 3 would be learning combos over normals. A lot of this, if you're gonna notice the trend is you need to be in the lab. That's the biggest thing. But when you're in the lab, it's not understanding what to do, and you're just going around, you're just going in the lab to learn a combo. Wrong. Stop, pause, chill. No. When you go into the lab, you need to learn every aspect of your character, not just one strong combo. That one strong combo doesn't always work. You are not always going to have a situation where you can get that combo. So what do? You know, that's where a lot of fighting game players, that's when they get mad and say, oh, this game is broken, this game is rigged, because they don't understand that, you know, not all the time can you get big shit off. Sometimes the best way to beat somebody is to chip away at them. The best way to beat somebody in a fighting game is to annoy them to the point they make mistakes. And that's a concept that myself as a player, I'm learning, is how to annoy somebody so much that they stop doing what the fuck they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I've done it a lot, but it's still like it's a skill. That's a skill you have to learn. That's a skill you do not come with. A lot of people think you come with that skill, but you don't. That's something you have to really sit in the lab and learn. That comes with overtime and matches. That comes in overtime and matches. It comes with taking L's. And speaking of L's, we're going to go right into number 2. You will lose. Get over it. Mistake number 2, thinking you would never lose. Thinking you would never lose. That is the worst. That's one of the worst things you can do. Anger and losing does not match in fighting. It don't match in gaming, period, man. Let me explain something to y'all. You know how many matches that I got mad that I just lost and it made my next match worse? I give you a prime example. So every Sunday, shout out to HOM, we do a tournament called Dub City. And I literally lost a match to somebody that I did a salty showdown with, and he beat me 5-0. That lingered into the next match. And somebody that I would have beat, no disrespect to Alma. Alma is a great player. But somebody that I know the matchup so well, and I know I would have beaten because I know that matchup that well, I end up losing to. Because I was still in my mind, I was still salty about the loss that I had. And you need to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that anger. That's something I've been working on as a player, is when I take my L's, what did I learn from it? You know what I'm saying? It's not about losing. It's when you take an L, what do you learn from it? And can you adjust to what you learned as quickly as possible? You know what I'm saying? That adjustment from a loss is hard. It is hard because you be in your mind. You be in your mind. And I won't admit to anybody, there's plenty of matches I've been in my mind and just lost it all. But what do you learn from it? Maybe in that match you was jumping too much. Maybe you was jumping too much. So the next match, start off by not jumping. Because maybe now your opponent is waiting for the anti-air. You catch them with a sweep. You catch them with a grab because they're waiting for you to anti-air. Or maybe neutral jump. Neutral jump, they think you're going to come towards them, do a short hop. I know in Grand Blue, it's a game, I'll probably put gameplay. You see, I'll short hop a lot. Where I do it looks like I'm about to jump over you, and then I'll just kind of freeze in the air, come back down, and then they'll anti-air, and then I get a free punish because now you done whiffed the anti-air. But what can you learn is, and I want you guys to remember this, a loss is only a loss when you refuse to learn something from it. You know what I'm saying? It's a loss of knowledge. That's why it's called a loss. You're losing knowledge because you refuse to learn. If you lose and you learn something from it, you just had a match that it was a learning experience. But let's get on to my number 1. My number 1 is time. You need to put time into fighting games for you to be great at fighting games. Now, if it's a specific fighting game you're playing, if you want to be at a competitive level, you are at least putting in 12 hours a day. Now, those of you that are watching my videos are casuals. If you have never placed at least top 32 consistently in the tournament, you are a casual. Just because you go to tournaments and you drown in pools doesn't mean you are a tournament player. You are a casual tournament player that drowns in pools. But it's time. You have to dedicate yourself. You have to put time aside to become better. You can put away 4 hours a day. If you really want to get good at a fighting game, put away 4 hours a day to play strictly that game. 2 hours a day to play strictly that game. That's how you get better. That's how you go from a C tier starter to a A tier player in Grand Blue super quick. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in rankings. That's another thing. That's my honorable mention. Don't let your rank get to your head, because a lot of people don't play online. So your ranking online don't mean shit if you're playing offline. If you're trying to be a competitive, like a tournament player, your shit online don't mean shit offline, because there's plenty of people online, let's say in Street Fighter, that are warlords. They get their ass whooped by people in Diamond all the time. All the time. So it's time. If I could go back as a kid that always loved fighting games, but I just never put time into them. I think the only fighting game I ever put serious, like 8-hour days after work, after school, was MK9. And that's why I was really good at MK9, is because I put the time in. I wanted to learn Reptile in that game. couldn't nobody stop me from learning Reptile. I was a Reptile one trick, and I was the shit. I was the shit as Reptile. No, and I'm pretty sure people could beat me. But when I say time too, I mean you're looking at what other people do. You're looking at streams of players that play your character. You're looking at tournaments players and seeing what they do differently that you can utilize. You're utilizing all your time to focus on that game and become better. So yeah, I think this is a better video because it's my 5 mistakes portrayed to you guys. These are 5 things that I have done personally that stunted my growth, and now I'm not saying I'm a terrible player. I'm far from a terrible player. I'm an average player. I think I have potential to be a great player, but I need to put more time in. That's my biggest fault right now. I don't put enough time into fighting games like I should. You know, my HOM family, they say it all the time. If you go to tournaments, if you put the time in, we see the potential that you have. You can be a great player. You have to do it. And that's something I'm working towards. But at the same time, I want to grow the community. I want you guys to grow. I want you guys to become better. I look at y'all like children. I want you guys to be better than me. And I want to groom the next generation of fighting gamers to know, yo, y'all can be better than us. Y'all can be greater than us. Y'all can beat a Sonic Fox. Y'all can beat a Goichi. Y'all can beat a Daigo. What are y'all going to do? North America, what are we going to do? But yeah, that's the end of the video. Love you guys. Thank you guys for the support. And I'm out. Peace.